Quavo, Takeoff, they was down here with y'all. They seen you walking by. He's laying on the ground. You got Mike bending down, and they seen you walking by. What took place there?
It's the crazy thing about that video, right?
This is a problem, Jay Prince, and I'm gonna tell you like this: if you're 60 years old and you trying to be a street you failed. You failed.
Something major just went down, and the entire rap game is lit up over it. This ain't your average internet beef. This is straight-up war. The kind that's been simmering in the background until it finally blew wide open. Mase just came through with a bombshell nobody expected. He leaked a private call between Jay Prince and Takeoff, and it's got the industry shaking. Now Jay Prince is spiraling, throwing threats around and scrambling with damage control like never before. Yeah, man, we got some straightening going on. You feel me? Yes, so that's the energy Prince tried to push. But Mase wasn't flinching, not even a little bit. He clapped back heavy, saying the things people have been quietly whispering about Jay Prince for years, but never had the guts to speak out loud. This ain't just another diss. This is the first time somebody with real weight stepped up and said, "Nah, we done with this." The reaction on the streets is insane, especially because Takeoff's death still feels shady to so many people.
And I'm gonna tell you another thing: when you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little like the way you talk it. I don't get what you mean. We're not your little like for real.
Too many unanswered questions. Too many silent witnesses. And now, two names keep echoing in every conversation: Jay Prince Jr. and DJ Pat. Folks can't ignore it anymore, and this latest blow-up just put the spotlight back on the mystery nobody once buried. This new leak call just flipped the whole story upside down. If May's claims hold weight, Jay Prince isn't just guilty of messy PR. He could be hiding something way darker. The internet is exploding, calling Prince out as a fake community leader and a cartel-style fixer with blood on his hands. People are heated, dragging out the mob ties talk, demanding answers, and saying the truth has to come out. Mase had been laying low, minding his own business. But when Prince started sending subliminals on the $1 million worth of game podcasts, that was a breaking point. The gloves came off, and Mase wasn't biting his tongue anymore. According to Mase, he overheard a call where Jay Prince was allegedly pressing Takeoff just hours before he died. And this wasn't some Big Brother advice session. It was straight pressure, questioning loyalty, the type of controlling talk that never ends well. Mase said the energy was all wrong: tension, disrespect, and intimidation. And the craziest part? That alleged call supposedly happened the very night Takeoff was murdered outside that Houston bowling alley. Remember that dice game? The argument, the gunshots, and Takeoff gone at just 28, one of the most peaceful and respected rappers in the culture. Once Mase spoke up, Jay Prince lost it. He jumped online, firing off veiled threats and doubling down on old shots, even shading Offset for not being around Takeoff. He repeated the line, "You wasn't really there with Takeoff when he was alive." And that's when it blew up. Offset clapped back instantly, with Cardi B standing right beside him, making it clear she wasn't scared of mob ties. But by then, the streets had turned. One fan wrote on X, "Nobody respects Jay Prince after Takeoff died on his watch." That single comment captured what the internet was already screaming. From there, the digging started. People began connecting dots, realizing the whole story didn't add up. DJ Pat, the man charged with Takeoff shooting, walked out of jail on a $1 million bond like nothing happened. Fans asked, who even posts that kind of bond that quick? And all eyes pointed right back at Jay Prince's circle. Then it got sketchier. Reports surfaced that Jay Prince Jr. tried to have his name removed from DJ Pat's bond paperwork. Why separate yourself unless you're hiding something? Especially when you were there that night. And that wasn't the only name floating around. Cameron Joshua, a.k.a. Lil Cam Fifth, who's tied to Mob Ties Records, was arrested right after the shooting on gun charges. It's like every time someone gets hurt around them, the same names keep coming up, and people ain't buying the "we're the victims" narrative anymore, because this wasn't the first warning. Remember Duke the Jeweler? He flew into Houston, checked in with Mob Ties, played dice, and wound up dead. Same setup, same silence, and Prince's name quietly in the background again. Fans even point back to that clip of Jay Prince telling his security to fall back, like it was all too calculated. Now people are calling it a pattern. Invite wealthy artists to Houston. Force the check-in. Set up a dice game. Argument pops off. Someone ends up dead. And then the same recycled speech online about grief and black-on-black violence. But fans are done with the speeches. They're asking, where were you when the blood was still on the ground? Even worse, none of the princes showed up to Takeoff's funeral. Not one. And that had folks saying maybe they didn't show because they knew too much. Jay Prince Jr. even had the nerve to post, "Don't wear jewelry around vultures." But fans clapped back. If you knew the vibes were bad, why invite them in the first place? If the mob ties check-in system can't guarantee safety, then what's the point? Quavo was reportedly in a heated argument with Jay Prince Jr. right before the shots rang out, and new clips show Prince brushing it off like it was nothing.
I'm going to tell you another thing. When you're dealing with older people, they're the last to know that things have changed. We not your little like the way you talking. I don't get what you mean. We're not your little.
Cold reaction rubbed people the wrong way, making him look guilty in the eyes of the public. And that's when Mase really lost it. After hearing Prince talk slick on that podcast, he snapped live, saying, "We are not your little." That line was raw, powerful, and it cut deep. Mase spoke for everyone who felt bullied or controlled by Prince's so-called checking game. Cameron, sitting beside him silent, not disagreeing, was all the cosign he needed. Fans believe Mase had been holding that leaked call in the chamber, waiting for the perfect moment to strike, and when he did, the internet erupted. After that, the energy shifted heavy. Offset had been quiet, but when Prince dragged his name, acting like he was never there for Takeoff, it crossed a line. Offset went off, straight from the heart, calling out the disrespect. Cardi B jumped right in beside him, and when Cardi steps in, it's not for attention, it's because she means business. She dragged mob ties publicly, making it clear she and Offset weren't scared of any street empire. That's when it stopped being hip-hop politics and got personal. Suddenly, the OG image Prince built was cracking. The man claiming to keep Houston safe was now in the middle of chaos, with lives lost under his so-called protection. What made it worse? Big names started pulling back. Drake, who owes his career start to Jazz Prince, went silent. No reposts, no respect, nothing tied to mob ties. And Drake's silence is loud. It means something. Even Jay-Z, word on the streets is has been ignoring every peace call from the princes since 2023. And Jay doesn't argue online. He cuts you off, clean and quiet. Billion-dollar empires don't touch street drama or possible federal heat. Corporate giants see the rumors, the missing footage, and the silence from witnesses. They don't want that stain anywhere near their brand, especially tied to Takeoff's death. And that's when the whole check-in culture started crumbling. For years, Jay Prince Jr. made rappers feel like they had to check in when they came to Houston. It was supposed to be about safety and respect. But what kind of protection is that when Duke the Jeweler and Takeoff, two major names, ended up dead after checking in? Fans started tweeting, "This is why no one checks in anymore." It became a movement. Artists began calling out the game as fake protection, just a way for gatekeepers to flex power. West Coast rappers even admitted checking in doesn't make you safer. It just paints a target on your back. Mase calling Prince a failed street boss pretending to be a mobster hit like wildfire. That line stuck. But here's where it gets darker. What happened to the witnesses? Over 40 people stood outside 810 Billiards and bowling that night when shots rang out. You can hear them in the background of those clips online. Yet barely anyone came forward. Word is, people got threatened or paid off. Fans think someone wanted DJ Pat to take all the blame alone. Some even believe parts of the security footage vanished. The wildest theory? Takeoff wasn't even the intended target. Sources say Prince Jr. was arguing with Quavo, and Takeoff just happened to be nearby. If that's true, it could have been an accident, or warning gone wrong. Either way, too many people got quiet fast. And every time the story fades, a new leak drags it back to light. Now the big question, does that call exist? Word is, the phone conversation between Prince and Takeoff was recorded, maybe by accident, maybe on purpose. If that audio comes out, it could blow this case wide open. One take could turn whispers into undeniable proof. And if it's real, Jay Prince's empire might finally crumble for good. Sources close to Mase and Cam say they've been holding that recording back, waiting for the right moment in case Jay Prince tried to play slick. If that audio leaks and proves Prince was threatening Takeoff or pushing him into something he didn't want, it's over. His entire empire would collapse overnight. And this isn't some wild theory. Remember, Mase isn't just anybody. This is a man who walked away from Diddy, fought the machine, and came back swinging. He can't be bought, and he can't be scared into silence. That's exactly why the situation is so dangerous for Prince. The streets believe Mase just exposed what they always suspected, that mob ties isn't just a label, it's an operation with deep roots. And once the feds smell that kind of trail, it's game time. Federal investigators don't care about rap politics. They care about money trails, patterns, and organized setups. With DJ Pat's quick bail, missing footage, and witnesses disappearing, the puzzle looks too dirty to ignore. Mase speaking out might have just put a federal-sized spotlight right on the Prince family. And it's crazy how all this unraveled from just one phone call. A single conversation allegedly hours before Takeoff's death flipped Jay Prince's whole image. Like dominoes, once Mase spoke, everyone else started realizing the power structure ain't what it used to be. Even fans who once worshipped Prince as an untouchable OG are questioning everything. His calm, collected persona is cracking. Big names are distancing. His family's quiet, and the internet is connecting dots. The legend is looking more like a liability. But underneath all this noise, the heart of the story is Takeoff. The quiet one, the genius of Migos, the one who never chased drama or fame. He was loved for his peace and talent, not controversy. That's what makes his tragedy cut so deep. To see his life ended at a dice game, surrounded by people who claim to protect him, feels like betrayal. Fans see his name wrapped in conspiracies, while the people closest to the scene protect their brand instead of his memory. Prince posted after the shooting, "Grief is the price of love." But the culture wasn't looking for poetry. They wanted accountability. They wanted answers from the so-called leaders of mob ties, not cryptic quotes and podcast rants. Now that Mase cracked the silence, it's all unraveling. Because once the wall of fear breaks, the truth always finds its way to the surface. For years, Prince was viewed like a godfather, a man who could fix anything. But after Takeoff, people started saying it out loud. Maybe the respect came from fear, not admiration. And that's the real shift. The calm businessman image is being replaced with something darker, a man obsessed with control, influence, and protecting his own name. Offset and Cardi saying, "We're not scared, prove the spell is breaking." And when powerful people lose their grip, that's when they panic. You can already see it in Prince's interviews. The tone is different. The control is slipping. And once the street sense fear, the fall becomes unstoppable. More defensive, more emotional. That's exactly how Jay Prince is looking these days, like he knows the eyes on him are sharper than ever. Federal investigators have already been sniffing around Houston since the Takeoff case cracked open. And with Mase dropping that private call bomb, it's only a matter of time before someone in law enforcement digs deeper. Once the feds start linking alleged threats, missing footage, and those suspicious bail deals, everything Prince built could collapse overnight. Even insiders in hip-hop are whispering that mob ties might already be under surveillance. Every time Jay Prince or his sons go live, people clip it, repost it, and analyze every word. The internet is a courtroom now, and the public is a jury. When the streets think you're guilty, it's over. Reputation isn't just about money, it's about respect. And no lawyer can fix that once it's gone. What nobody wants to talk about is how many artists tied to mob ties now want out. The same people who used to post selfies with Jay Prince are quietly deleting photos. Labels don't mention him anymore. Even podcasts that used to hype him up avoid saying his name. That silence is louder than any diss track. It's like the industry finally realized the mob ties power structure was built on intimidation, and once people stop being scared, it loses all value. But the truth is, it never should have come this far. Takeoff deserved better. He was peaceful, humble, loyal, just wanted to make music with his brothers. Every clip of him smiling feels like a gut punch now, a reminder of what was lost that night. The dice game, the argument, the confusion. It's a symbol of how often the culture loses its good ones to senseless situations. What hurts most is that the full truth still isn't out, and too many powerful names are dancing around it. Mase stepped into the fire to say what others were too scared to admit, that maybe the mob image J. Prince has been pushing for years isn't what it seems. He tore through the silence, forcing everyone to look at the bail, the call, the witnesses, the missing footage, and the fear that's ruled Houston for too long. And now that fear is cracking. You can feel it in the air. People are finally ready to talk. This isn't just another rap beef anymore. This is about power, about control, about what happens when people who've been untouchable for decades start losing their grip. And the craziest part? It all started with one leaked phone call. One piece of truth that exposed an empire built on silence. Now every move J. Prince makes is being watched. Every post is being screenshot. Every rumor feels a little more believable. If that recording really exists, it's not just another headline. It's a legacy destroyer. And through all this noise, one demand keeps rising: justice for Takeoff. Not revenge. Not gossip. Justice. Fans want closure. His family deserves answers. The industry needs accountability. The fact this is still murky years later shows how deep it runs. But one thing's clear: the truth always comes out. J. Prince can't PI his way out forever, and he can't threaten people into silence for much longer. Too many eyes are watching. Too many voices are speaking. And too many people are ready for change. What Mase did wasn't just a diss. It was a warning shot. A signal that the old rules don't apply anymore, and even the biggest names can get called out if the truth is on the line. The world's watching to see what happens next. Because when power shifts in hip-hop, it never goes quietly. One leak can destroy an empire. Right now, J. Prince's kingdom is shaking. The fear is fading. The silence is breaking. And the streets are speaking up for Takeoff louder than ever. This is history happening in real time. Don't blink. The next headline might be the one that changes everything.